Brethren, I pray you sing a new song. Sing praise in the assembly of the righteous. Let the saints be joyful in glory. Let the high praise of God be on the mouths of the saints and a two-edged sword in their hands to execute vengeance on the demonic nations and punishments on those peoples, to bind their kings with chains. This honor have all his saints. Praise the Lord. Praise the Lord. Sing to him a new song.
The book of Romans, chapter 11, verse 5. Even so then, at this present time, also there is a remnant, according to the election of grace. Want me to keep going?
Oh, read that again.
The book of Romans, chapter 11, verse 5. Even so then, at this present time, also there is a remnant according to the election of grace.
He said, according to this time, that there is a remnant according to the election of grace. Let me get that.
Isaiah chapter 10, verse 21. The remnant shall return.
He said what?
The remnant shall return.
The remnant shall return, shall reconcile. Go ahead.
Even the remnant of Jacob unto the mighty God. Even the remnant of Jacob unto the mighty God.
The Bible says, whom shall he make understand doctrine? Whom shall he make understand knowledge? Him that is drawn from the breast and weaned from the milk. Precept upon precept, precept upon precept, and that's what we're doing. All right, we're going to show y'all that these Gentiles are Israel, okay? Without a shadow of a doubt. All right, even Christ told them not to go to the Gentiles. Now y'all like, oh no, but because Israel went off and did this. Yeah, he said he was going to provoke Israel to jealousy, but he didn't say that they were going to get the blessings of Israel. He didn't say they were going to be spiritual Israel. He never said that. You add to the word and taken away. All right, he just said we were going to be provoked to jealousy. That's it.
All right.
All right, go ahead. Well, because guess what? Y'all was going to lose your identity. He said it was going to be a bastard that dwelled in Ashdod. Y'all weren't going to know who y'all were. You know what I'm saying? You was going to have to serve your enemies. Y'all ain't going to be blessed. You're going to be cursed. See what I'm saying? When y'all supposed to be in that rightful position. So guess what? Now y'all being brought to jealousy, man. All right? Now it's going to make you're going to be looking at these other nations like, man, they blessed, man. Look at them, man. Look how they live it. It's going to make you want to get right now. Now you want to get right, man. Like, no, man. Like, I can't be a sinful man like that. Right? You seeing them being wicked in the earth and they still living over y'all. You're like, man, I got to turn my damn life around. I got to come back to the Most High God. He said when you meditate there and day and night, that your way is going to become prosperous, man. Right? I want that. If that's the only way I can come over my enemies, I'm going to do it. That's what I'm focused on. Keeping the law, statutes, and the commandments, man. Go ahead.
This is Romans chapter 11, verse 9. And David said,
Okay, go back to 5.
This is the book of Romans, chapter 11, verse 5. Even so then, at this present time, also there is a remnant according to the election of grace.
And that remnant was the Israelites, man. All right? That's who it is. Ain't no way around it. To the election of grace. What is grace? It's a time period for you to get right with God. All right? The Most High never commanded all the other nations to do this and do that. It was only the Israelites. All right? Go ahead.
You want me to go to 6?
Yeah, go 6.
And if by grace, then is it no more of works?
So by grace, it is no more of works? Because what is the works? Huh? Doing the job that Most High told you to do, the commandments, the oracles, all right? The statutes. Go ahead.
Otherwise
what?
Otherwise, grace is no more of grace. But if it be of works, then it is no more of grace. Otherwise, work is no more work. What then? Israel have not obtained that which he seeketh for, but for the election have obtained it, and the rest were blinded.
So like, hold that. Habakkuk 2 and 2. Read that part again.
What then? Israel had not obtained that which he seeketh for, but the election have obtained it.
The elect have obtained it,
and the rest were blinded.
And the rest were blinded. He said the elect have obtained it. Somebody give me Israel, my elect. real quick.
I got you.
Now you give me Habakkuk 2 and 2.
This is Habakkuk, chapter 2, verse 2.
Bring it out.
And the Lord answered me and said, write the vision and make it plain unto the table, that he may run and readeth it. For the vision is yet for an appointed time.
He said the vision is yet for an appointed time. Right, go ahead.
But at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it.
He said, though it tarry, wait for it.
Because it will surely come. It will not tarry.
It's going to come. It's not going to tarry. So the northern and the southern kingdom being brought back together, being reconciled, it's going to happen. Ain't no way around it. Why did the Bible keep saying that the northern and the southern kingdom going to come back together? When did that happen yet? Huh? That just shows y'all that when it talk about the Gentiles, it's talking about the northern kingdom being brought back. Because it ain't happened. Uh-oh. There I go. What's up, man?
Always around, man.
Huh? Yo, you all good, bro? You got a flyer? Did you ever go to YouTube?
I've seen your pages before.
Did you watch it?
Not all of it.
Why not?
It was late at night. And it was
Did you understand?
Not really.
You didn't?
I'm not gonna be here for a while, but I didn't understand it.
Why not? What's your nationality?
I know it's like it goes back to like stones or something.
Stones?
Or something, I don't know.
What's your nationality? What do you go by on the earth?
On this earth,
Yeah. What's your father?
I'm Mexican. My parents are born in Mexico.
All right. So according to the Bible, you would be from the tribe of Issachar, one of God's chosen people. Right?
Yeah.
Did you understand that?
I don't know. God and Jesus and Buddhists and all that.
You don't believe
There's
in,
a lot.
You don't believe in the Bible?
There's a lot of them, you know. I'm gonna go though.
All right, it's all good. Let's get back to where we was at, man. We got a lot of work to do, I guess. A lot of work to do, man. And you know the crazy part about that? That brother been out here with some of the most craziest camps we ain't had. He was out here when we had the one with the people over there. Remember, he was doing the kid flips and stuff in front of us on camera. Right. It's like, man, like, that's why I asked him, like, you didn't get it? Like, and that's what we just read in the book of Romans. He said, and the rest were blinded, man. Yeah. A lot of our Israelite brothers and sisters, they blinded. They're not going to get this, man. All right? So we read Habakkuk 2, right? All right. No, we already got the Romans 11 and 9. You read it. That's 11 and 5. Yeah, he read all the way down to 9, right?
I read to 7.
7. Okay, go ahead.
This is Romans 11, chapter.
Oh, no, that's what I want. I want Israel my elect.
I got you.
Go ahead.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 45 and verse 4. For Jacob, my servant, it's like it. For Jacob, my servant's sake, and Israel, mine elect.
And Israel, mine elect. All right, now go back to the book of Romans 11 and verse 6 and 7.
Come. This is the book of Romans, chapter 11, verse 6. And if by grace, then is it no more of works. Otherwise, grace is no more grace. But if it be of works, then it is no more of grace. Otherwise, work is no more work. What did? Israel have not obtained that which he seeketh for, but the election have obtained it, and the rest were blinded.
He said, but what if Israel have not obtained that which he seeketh for? But he said, but the rest were blinded, but Israel has took the elect. All right? And that's the point that we got to understand. Not all Israel are going to be part of the elect. All right? Some of the Israelites are going to be blinded. All right? You got 2/3 of Israel that's just going to be disobedient, man. All right? They're going to be put to death with all the rest of the nations. All right? They're not going to come back to the Most High. All right? That's it on that, right? It's like, I want to get, all right, so we brought that out. I want to get Habakkuk 2, we got that out, all right. Let me get 1 Peter 2, 5. 1 Peter 2 and 5. 8.
This is the book of 1 Peter, chapter 2 Verse 5. Ye also, as lively stones, are built up a spiritual house, a holy priesthood, to offer up spiritual sacrifices, acceptable to God, by Yahweh Shah HaMashiach. Wherefore also it is contained in the scripture, behold, I lay in Zion a chief cornerstone.
You say he do what?
I lay in Zion a chief cornerstone.
Okay, the word Zion is the same thing as Israel. Okay, go ahead.
Elect, precious,
He said, and I lay in Zion the elect. Go ahead.
and precious.
Uh-huh.
And he that believeth on him shall not be confounded.
It says, he that believeth on him shall not be confounded. Okay?
Unto you, therefore, which believe, he is precious.
Right?
But unto them which is disobedient, the stone which the builders disallowed, the same is made the head of the corner.
So who is this stone that is talking about? Who is this stone? Yeah, Yahushua. Let's get Acts chapter 2, verse 21. Give me that. Hold that what you got, huh? Because he said those who believe. Alright? Right? I don't understand how Christians can even like fathom and even try to work themselves up to say that the Gentiles being drafted in are going to be these other nations. Go ahead.
This is Acts chapter 2, verse 21. And it shall come to pass that whosoever shall call on the name of the Lord shall be saved. Ye men of Israel, hear these words. Ye men of Israel, hear these words. Jesus of Nazareth, a man approved of God among you by miracles.
He said, Jesus of Nazareth, a man approved of God among you. Go ahead.
By miracles.
By miracles.
And wonders. And signs.
And signs. Go ahead.
Which God did by him and in the midst of you, as ye yourselves also know, him being delivered by the determinate counsel of foreknowledge of God.
So the whole time he was talking to the Israelites. All right? This is the whole point, man. When he's talking about you that believe, all right, that chief cornerstone, he was talking about the Israelites. He said, the elect, Khan. He was like, ye men of Israel, hear these words. Jesus of Nazareth, that cornerstone, that chief cornerstone that it was talking about. All right? This is simple, man. Go back to what you were reading,
It's the book of 1 Peter, chapter 2, and verse 7. Unto you, therefore, which believe, he is precious. But unto them which be disobedient, the stone which the builders disallowed, the same is made the head of the corner, and the stone of stumbling, and the rock of offense, even to them which stumble at the word, being disobedient, whereunto also they were appointed.
Right. Because Yahushua was a stumbling block for some of Israel. They didn't understand what was going on. They didn't believe who he was. Not only did they stumble, they stumbled at the prophecies, they stumbled at the words of God. All right? Because they didn't understand what the Bible was talking about. All right? Go ahead.
Verse 9. But ye are a chosen generation.
He said what?
But ye are a chosen generation. A royal priesthood. A holy nation. A peculiar people. That ye should show forth the praises of him who have called you out of darkness unto his marvelous light.
He said that you shall show forth his greatness who have grabbed you out of darkness into the marvelous light. They were in darkness. They didn't understand nothing. They didn't understand that they were Israelites. They didn't know Christ came for them. They were in darkness, and Christ was going to bring them out of darkness into the marvelous light. That's why he had to die. And this is simple, man. I don't understand why Christians will keep saying that they can be drafted in. Matter of fact, give me Genesis 11:1. We forgot to bring that out.
You got it.
11:1.
I'm not actually.
11:1.
It's the book of Genesis, chapter 11, verse 1.
So when you're dealing with drafted in, what is it dealing with?
Other nations being drafted in.
No, scientifically.
Bring him back to the same tree.
We're talking about trees, right?
Right.
Right. All right, now watch this.
It's the book of Genesis, chapter 11, verse 1.
No, 1 and 11.
Genesis 1 and 11.
That's right. My bad, so like you.
This is the book of Genesis, chapter 1, verse 11.
Bring it out.
And God said, let the earth bring forth grass.
So he said, let the earth bring forth grass. Go ahead.
The herb yielding seed.
Uh-huh.
And the fruit, it's like it, and the fruit tree yielding fruit
Uh-huh.
after his kind,
Right.
whose seed is in itself.
He said, in the fruit tree yielding fruit after his kind. Okay, even the laws of nature say that you cannot bring something that's not of the family into the family.
That's right.
Okay, this is in the book of Genesis. Read again from the top, man.
This is the book of Genesis, chapter 1, verse 11.
Uh-huh.
And God said, let the earth bring forth grass,
Uh-huh.
the herb yielding seed,
Right?
and the fruit tree yielding fruit after his kind,
Uh-huh.
whose seed is in itself
Now watch this. Go ahead.
upon the earth.
Uh-huh.
And it was so. And the earth brought forth grass, and herb yielding seed
Right?
after his kind,
After its kind. Go ahead.
and the tree yielding fruit, whose seed was in itself
Right?
after his kind.
It said in its seed as in itself. Okay? That is after its kind. Go ahead.
That is after his kind. And God saw that it was good.
God said it's good, man. That when you have a seed that is after your own kind, you're not bringing something else into the family. That's not how it works. All right? If they not of the family, they not of the family. All right? You cannot bring a different type of tree, a different type of fruit into the family. You cannot draft the other nations in, and now they're part of the family.
Oh, there we go. I knew it was playing.
Okay? Go ahead. Go, read, finish what you was reading.
That was it. That was it.
Keep going.
Verse 13. And the evening and the morning were the third day.
All right, you were right. All right. All right. So,